Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. We are here live from Origins 2018 in lovely Columbus, Ohio, and I am joined here today with some really amazing people. I have the person with the best name in the industry, Kurt Covert, and I'm also here with Alex Cutter, and we are talking about, I did it, see, Jeff, Alex Cutter, and we are talking about one of
It's
the
gonna
most,
catch on. It's great.
so awful, so terrible. Thanks, Jeff. We're talking about one of the most beautiful games out on the market.
Yes, so this is before there were stars, and I have to say, this is designed by Alex, Matt Fantastic, and Alex Wilkerson, and it is the most emotionally satisfying storytelling game I've ever seen. And when they pitched it to me, I was instantly in love, and I was like, man, if this thing plays half as good as it sounds,
Yeah.
and it delivered. It was amazing through and through. And I'm not a storytelling game player.
Okay.
I typically don't like those types of games because it's usually like the funniest joke that, gets the big points, or it's like, who is the best presenter, or someone interrupts your story and it like goes all willy-nilly.
Right.
This game breaks all of those potential issues that I have with storytelling games.
That must be really good, nice for you to hear, Alex, all the compliments about
It is. I'm
the
so
final
flattered.
product.
Well, so fun flattery story. When we pitched this game to Kurt, his exact words were something like, I don't have a spot for this game in my lineup, but I really wish I did because I want to do it. And then he came back to us a few days and was like, I made a spot for this. Like,
I
like
actually
this enough that I want to change.
I had to re-envision what my new brand imprint was going to be so I could include it.
So this is not a Smirk and Dagger game.
You are correct. This is my new line, Smirk and Laughter. And Smirk and Laughter is still all emotionally centered, gameplay. Obviously Smirk and Dagger is backstabbing and gnashing your teeth and cursing their names. So I love when you involve the emotions when you play games. I think it makes it really memorable. So these games also are really emotionally centered, but now it's a whole new palette of colors. And this one is great because it is just so rewarding emotionally to play it. So let me tell you about it. The game itself is, you are an ancient lore giver of your people, and you start by just kind of rolling the night sky with these star pip dice, and then you
throw some of those up on the hand
yeah.
cam.
La la la, doot. Oh my goodness,
How
they're big now.
cute are they?
So you scan now the heavens, looking for constellations that might be in the night sky that night. So, for example, if I saw 2 ones, I could pick the skull into my story. Or if I saw maybe a 5 and a 1, I could pick the tree, for example. So there's the tree. And the story that we're telling, though, they're creation myths. So with 2 cards drafted at the beginning of the game for Chapter 1, we're telling the beginning of the world. So you really start it with in the beginning. And then now you're going to use the skull and the tree as story elements to tell the story of how the universe began. And then Chapter 2 is the dawn of civilization. How did we get here? With 2 new cards plus referencing one from the previous round.
Okay.
Chapter 3 is a great hero emerges. 2 new cards, and you reference 2 other. And every time you do those callbacks, it starts connecting your story and making it fuse together in a
Lot more
meaningful
fluid.
way. Yeah. And then finally, the end of days. How's this going to wrap up? Is it doom and gloom? Is it hopeful? You decide, because no one is taking your story off track. You completely own the story.
Okay.
And each chapter is scored, but scoring is secret. So we don't know how people are scoring us, and we simply pass around these offering bags. And with the offering bags, people are going to be putting either 2, 3, or 4 points. Oh, they didn't even show it. There we go. 2, 3, or 4 points of these colored star beads into their bag, signifying the score.
And these are really pretty. I mean, it's a little, you can see the shine from the light off the screen, the
Yeah.
nice, it's very pretty.
Yeah. Well, the whole game it's designed to kind of look like it's going to be great on a wine table. Like if you're having couples over, that kind of thing. I want it to be really kind of impressive on table.
I kind of got the wine charmy kind of feel
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
stars.
Yeah. But I think one of the most important things about this game, and what really sets it apart for me, is the scoring itself.
Okay.
You are not being scored on funniest joke or the best presenter. When you are scoring and listening to stories and how you're going to score them, you want to score on who had the coolest moment in that story.
Okay.
And this is amazing because it really does some amazing things. It levels the playing field. Even if you're not a confident storyteller and people come in and are like, this is not really a kind of me game. I'm not a great presenter of stories. It doesn't matter. Anyone can have a great moment, a really inspired moment of storytelling. In fact, sometimes people will be like, stumbling a little bit through, round 1 and 2. When they get to chapter 3, something finally kind of like clicks in, and people are like, "Oh my God, I love how you fused all those things together. That was amazing." And all of a sudden, they get scored really, really heavy because you were really surprised about
How well they did it, how
well
they pulled that
yeah.
together.
And the other thing is that I think scoring is one of the downfalls in a lot of these games. You tend to play to the judge and do all those kind of things.
Right.
This is more pure storytelling because the scoring is secret and you're really just scoring on the actual quality of the content people are creating. At the end of the game, though, there is one final bonus point that I think is probably the most important point of the game. This is the appreciation round, and after this keeps on falling from my head. My head is too small. That doesn't seem right. All right. So this final point that you went, it's the over the moon token, and you basically are gonna highlight one or two things you heard during the entire game that you really connected with, and then you're gonna give this one last bonus point to your favorite moment of the game. So when you told the story of the goddess weeping and filling the oceans, that was beautiful. I really loved that, yeah. But your story, the two warring giants with the one eyeball, one could look at the past, one could look in the future with it, that was cool as hell. So bonus point to you, man. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, Alex.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So what ends up happening is no one person collects all those bonus points, and everyone at some point gets recognized for something that they
Excellent
did.
they did.
So when you step away from this game, and this is what makes it so rewarding, you heard 6 really cool stories from lots of different perspectives, and somebody told you they liked what you did. So you
It's
get
very
up and you're
rewarding
like,
kind of feeling.
this is
more
awesome.
than just like a game. That's kind of more of a personally rewarding
yeah.
feeling.
It's just, you walk away, you're like, this was a cool time. We should do this again. This is cool.
Yeah. It's a very experiential.
Yeah.
The gameplay is very experiential. You come away from it feeling more than just, oh, I won or I lost.
I have to ask you from the design perspective, Kurt, you make a lot of games where the emotions are the forefront, and we've talked about top-down, bottom up kind of design where you go from emotions to mechanics and themes and the other way around. Where did you guys start with the design for this game?
So this one came out of basically the core idea of pips as stars, the dice pips as stars.
Okay.
And it went in a very different direction. So usually I'm kind of like a theme experience first person. I find the mechanics that fit that. But in this case, I was like, wouldn't it be great if you could throw a bunch of dice on the table and you've made a night sky? And first it was just a little set collection game, and you're trying to like match pairs and make certain items. And then out of that, we realized that the game wanted to go in a more experiential direction. We were already telling little stories. It still had the constellations in its earlier form, and we're telling little stories with them and making them up as we go. And we realized that was the fun of the experience. Like, more than just getting points for collecting sets was actually the stories we were telling with these constellations. And from there, it flowed really naturally. The game designed itself in a way that you can't say for everything. It really came together.
And what's great too is we're going to be doing a Common Core lesson plan guide for both social studies and for English.
Really?
Because you're actually experiencing what it is to create the myths that the kids are actually kind of studying,
Right,
whether it's
right.
comparative religion or whether it's like literature.
Right.
These both have like really natural connections to learning that content.
Oh, what an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic way to use this as an educational tool. I really do.
Yeah, we were really excited to put that in there. A buddy of ours back in Connecticut, where I'm based out of, is a teacher. He helped us put together these lesson plans, and this is the type of game that I could really see like finding a home in a classroom. It's something that it just is really evocative in a way that I could see like spinning gears in little minds.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Very cool. So if I want to get my hands on this beautiful game,
Yes.
what am I doing?
Well, you can go to your friendly local game store.
Okay.
Is number one. You can also ask if it's not there. They can order it because we're distributed everywhere. Eventually, you'll find it at the usual online places as well,
Right.
or smirkanddagger.com.
Excellent. What's the price point that you guys have for the game?
It's $40. Yeah, $39.99.
It's a really good value.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for showing me
Yeah, you
this
bet.
beautiful game.
Of course.
Absolutely love it. Like I said, probably one of the
I'm
most beautiful
so
games on the
excited.
market.
I cannot wait till it comes out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.